black vampires, kind of a mid-rangey deck that has tools like Florian to generate card advantage. We got some quality interaction with Play with Fire and Infernal Grasp. And then we've got lots of various blood producers that allow us to kind of smooth out our draws as we play, thanks to the bloods discarding a card and drawing a card. So it's kind of smooth if you're flooding or screwing a little bit. Then I've got a couple of cheeky Olivia as kind of a way to go over the top. Something that's sweet about this is Olivia's text here says the thing it returned remains in play until as long as you control a legendary vampire, which means even if they kill your Olivia when she reanimates something, if you reanimate a legendary vampire, they keep themselves in play effectively. So we've got 8 other legendary vampires to pair with her, which is sweet. So let's go ahead and pop on into some alchemy matches with vampires this morning and see how it goes. I don't believe deck lists are published yet, sometime soon. They posted a metagame breakdown yesterday. We're supposed to get full deck lists at some point today. The Alchemy metagame was largely creature and mid-range decks. The historic metagame was largely control and Phoenix. Oh, awkward that our first 2 lanes are tapped, but we're on the place. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. The Purveyor is actually a 5/6 Kyle. It's very, very large. Hey, what's going on, BKU? Thanks for the 2 years. I appreciate you dropping the prime off again. Welcome back. Happy Friday. It's a Mardu mid-range deck that uses Kiki-Jiki Saga to copy creatures like City Stalker Connoisseur. Interested to see if that's good into how aggressive the field is in this format. Our opponent is unfortunately disconnected, it looks like. It's Edge. Just discarded a second land 2 hand sides automatically, so definitely just DC'd. Chase Clark, thanks for the 29 months. Good morning, good morning. Ivo, thanks for the 33 months. Howdy, howdy. Is it this one where their head explodes, or is there a third one? I forget. Welcome back, India. Alright, and the third one's the explode. It takes so long to actually lose the game. Let's give you infinite time. Hey, thanks for the 30 months, Sardnox. 2.5 years. It's back to the BC era. The hairdresser. This is why I leave my hair short, Chip. Oh, they're back. Okay. Well. You know, looking at the sideboard of this deck, it's probably not built particularly well at the moment. There's just way too much removal in here, right? I'm like looking at how I'm boarding here against the control deck. I've got like 3 Go Blanks and an Olivia, but I probably want like 2 more cards. Like these Brittle Blasts aren't very good here. And honestly, having some of these not in my deck post board probably wouldn't be bad either. Well, Titan, nobody chose their deck really being aware of the bugs. City Stalker is not really an anti-control card, chat. City Stalker is like an okay-ish mid-range card that like generates a 2-for-1. I don't really like, look at the curve of my deck. I don't really want more 4-drops. We are very explicitly not playing City Stalker because I think it's worse than the other 8 4-drops I already have. Our deck can be like mid-rangey, but we're really an aggressively slanted deck at our core. Yeah, we have a lot of 4-drops. I mean, I don't really have artifacts to sacrifice. You want me to sacrifice my blood tokens? It doesn't seem particularly good. I don't have a ton of those. I'd rather have cards that are individually powerful. My blood tokens already sacrificed to generate value. That's cute. I want to just get rid of this, right? Before they can make it a 4-4. Otherwise, this is going to eat this anyways, right? Play this first so we get our Blood Artist triggers in. Yeah, our curve's super strong here. Their deck's maybe a little bit more proactive than I was expecting. They get to kill my Blood Artist here with their bears. Yep. I make this a 4, and this deals 4 damage here. Okay, so they declined to sacrifice this before this got bigger. So they could have a counterspell here. They'll play an untapped land just in case that counterspell is Jewelry Disruption.
Violence is necessary.
I go ahead and plus Sorin here, so this way if they want to attack it with the 4-4, he gets to survive.
Is free.
Probably using a blood token to loot the Castle Dracula here. Oh, this does the planeswalkers too. Target permanent. Okay. So I take out my Sorin. That's fine. Still takes their turn.
Darkness, I return. For a complex plan. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
They're relatively close to dead here, huh? This attacks them down to 4. I mean, your statement's kind of weird to me, Kyle. If you agree, what do you think is missing? I mean, I also don't, maybe you weren't paying attention, but I talked about what I thought I needed to make adjustments to in the sideboard half a second ago. When we were sideboarding. Even if they have like a sweeper here, I guess this gains them some life, right? But if they sweep, I get a bunch of blood tokens, and every blood token drains them with the brushstroke.
Really should have seen that coming. Nothing like a change of plans to keep things fresh.
That's true. That's true. If farewell is the sweeper, that would not be great for us. I still have my planeswalker. Your deck is cute. Obviously, we only beat them in one game there because of the first game they were DC'd, but can you explain the Magma Opus Shatterskull Smashing bug? No. It's a bug that's a super edge case that's just like is largely not going to come up is my understanding. And you know how I know it's largely not going to come up? Because it's only happened to me once out of dozens of hours. Yeah. It's some weird thing like it has to do with like the spell above your spell on the stack losing its targets or something funky like that. It's some very narrow specific case stuff that has to happen. All right, how many Thalia answers do I think I need at 1 mana? 6 is probably plenty, right? I probably don't need 4 Play with Fire, Raise, and Flame Blast Bolts. I think I want some more anti-control cards. So in the control matchup, I'm cutting at least these 6 cards. And right now, I have 3 Go Blanks and Olivia to bring in there. So if I add 3 control cards, I could cut a Epicure as well. Yeah, Duress could be a safe choice. I don't know. I kind of wouldn't mind, like, is there like another proactive card I could play for the control matchup? There's also something to be said. Do I want to actually cut, like, all of my Infernal Grasps? Is there something I can play that's a modal card that kills Hinata? I don't have access to a Valorous stance. Invoke Despair. Can I cast that card? I don't think I can, right? I have 11 15. I don't think 16 is enough for that. Yeah, it's like Umbral Juke. I don't hate a Valki. That's kind of fun. Yeah, 3-spot. That's not when the multi-target card itself loses targets, but something else above it. On this deck. It's a pretty narrow specific bug, but it's also one that's been around for a little bit. This can downtick to take it on. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of a couple of Valkis. Is there a card that's good proactively too, even if they don't have their other thing? Someone said there's nerfed cards in the Alchemy deck list from the Set Championships. That means the deck lists are up. Can we get a link in chat? If someone in chat wants to do me a flavor, can I get a raw count from chat on the total number of nerfed cards that are present in all of the Alchemy deck lists? I think that would be a fun metric to track. I played Bloodcaster here because Florian wouldn't have gotten to draw a card. Total unique. Sorry, is what I'm intending to convey. Deck lists are not posted yet. Got it. Well, we'll sacrifice this and get rid of this Infernal Grasp. That's not very good against their control deck. Yeah, Watsy said they were going to post full deck list later today. Well, that's terrifying. What do I want to do here? Buffed cards is a potentially interesting metric, but I'm mostly just interested in getting to talk about how nerfs are not the same as bans. Well, that's kind of crazy. We are in danger. Hopefully these cards that we've played to the board already can mostly run the distance for us. Deal. Do return a card with foretell from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so they get one of their chargers back. Or Doomscar, I guess. Generally speaking, Max Spell, you can find the format that we are playing in my stream title, FYI. Go block, block, sack the Bloodbat. They have another Epiphany. We're in trouble. I don't have another Epiphany. We're in a pretty okay spot. They have another Doomscar they're thinking about pulling the trigger on. We're definitely ahead, so. Tank, best possible card is definitely my favorite Magic the Gathering Arena line. It's quite popular. Can't block, it might as well attack. Currently 3 to activate. I think I might honestly just be like putting this into play tapped and working towards using my lands more. Now I think I want to just hold up drains. So much life, chat. You know what else is a lot of life? Sacrificing all of these. We're just chilling. It's a stock boy. Thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Entropy Engine, thank you for the 11 months. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, folks. You don't see how we can win this game, really? What part are you struggling to see? Now, them being able to take Anje off the table probably means we lose. Even then, not necessarily a guarantee. And this is bad for us because one of these cards is almost assuredly a Sod coming, right? So it's Flame on Months, Grick. Welcome back. Appreciate it. One counter and one wipe spell and we are done. Your comments in chat have just been so toxic and not helpful this morning, Max Spell. Like, the attitude you have, you might as well just not even play your games of Magic the Gathering. Like, if you always operate under the assumption that your opponent has their best possible play at every given point, why not just concede before you start? Because you're never going to win. We only have one counter spell available here. Saw it coming happen, so that gets countered, and we get to play Sorin.
You deal with this annoyance.
So we're gonna pick back up their Make Angels card here, I assume. That might actually be what gets us, is the Make Angels card. Really? They're just drawing more cards. That's good for us. Maybe they already have a Make Angels in exile here? If they make a bunch of 4/4s, we're in trouble. But that's also decidedly different than what Max Spell said. Like, I actually think Max Spell's take was really awful because we actually are really well set up here to grind through a bunch of counter spells and sweepers. Now, a bunch of pressure does actually put this game away here. But very, very much decidedly not a problem with our opponent having counter spells and sweepers. We were definitely out grinding them here. The problem isn't the grind. And again, like, that's when it comes down to, like, properly assessing. That's why people, it's one of the reasons why people hate Control even when it's not good. And, like, in Historic, for example, Control is, like, toxically good. But people are really awful at assessing when they're actually ahead or behind in the Control matchup. Like there, people complaining that it feels like we're so far behind. It's like we weren't actually behind there until they had a way to close the game out. The closing is what got us, not their little bits of grinding us out. I think we want the Play With Fires to be able to kill the Chargers and the Vega. The Valki and the Brides for card advantage. I'm gonna trim the Epicures. Yeah, I just trim a Blood Vial. You don't need all the Go Blanks. A lot of their cards are going to be foretold. Go Blank cleaning out some of their graveyard will be good against their what's it called saga, though, too. Do you know what's really funny, chat? Looking back at Max Spell's comment history, you know what their previous messages before today was, chat, when they came in and asked if this was Alchemy or Standard while it was listed in the stream title? On March 9th, they came in and said, is this Alchemy, is this Standard? And then, oh, it's in the stream title. So it also wasn't, it's just like, yeah, all right. I'm gonna stop ranting about this person, but just like, they're just not gonna be a productive member of chat. No third land here, but they have Behold the Multiverse that I assume they're foretelling to work towards hitting that next turn. I think that distinction is generally arbitrary, Canadian Bacon, and it's not really worth worrying your head over. Like, does having a definitive answer to that question really impact anything for you? Not really. The way to answer that question, I suppose, is, do you think there's a matchup where the opponent's deck is the beatdown? Where they're just racing and not interacting? That's how you answer the is this a mid-range deck question. Mid-range decks will be the beatdown in certain situations. It's gonna keep jamming spells into their divide by zeros, because if I don't, they get to just go ahead and draw cards for free. Don't we want to double spell? How would I double spell? Please enlighten me. Now we could double these. I could also just like fire up Den of the Bugbear and crack them for 6 here. I think I'm kind of into that, honestly. Draw your 2 cards, friend. Multiverse is yours to behold. Lucario is one of the characters in Pokemon Unite where all 4 of its moves are playable in basically whatever combination you're comfortable with. That being said, I think Close Combat plus Power-Up Punch is the easier moveset to play with. Extreme Speed is very difficult to use well. Dirtalon is the new Pokemon Unite character that comes on Monday. Monday evening, I believe. Okay. Sounds like some Magic decks I know. Yeah, basically. If it's a special attacker like it is in the mainline Pokemon games, it's going to be very good with Hoopa. Really powerful interaction from the opponent's deck here. Getting to put this out, foretell these for cheap, and now if they want, they could play this out to gain life. They do not want. Open on this. Might have been right to play Brushstroke there, just because it threatens lethal if they don't have a counter spell. Yeah, Divide by Zero being a card they had access to there. Would have been bad for our Brushstroke. So they could foretell up to 3 things here. And then gain some life. Yeah, I played the first Bloodcaster in case they had some type of interaction on the stack. And if they would have interacted with the Bloodcaster, we then would have played Brushstroke. Card is so obnoxiously powerful. My lady. Thanks for tapping out, friends. It's great. I have not looked at Mythic Championship deck lists. I'll take a look at them once we have all of them posted. I'm sure we'll be playing a number of them next week with updates with the new Alchemy cards. And it's pretty good. Yeah, the fact that our blood token enabled Olivia to be lethal there was kind of guess. Thanks for the follow, Aaron Mech. Having a 2-drop on 2 seems pretty important in this matchup. Be able to get down underneath their counter spells and start applying pressure. And I think it's important that I basically play into their counter spells every turn from here on out, so that way they don't get a free window to draw cards. Basically just want to keep making them have it until eventually something sticks. I mean, it'll be part of the caster's job to be paying attention when something like Crossroads comes up, right? The color that it picks pops up for a second. Obviously, it would be ideal if they didn't have to track it that way, but there's at least an option. I definitely want to work towards hitting my land drops here, right? So I think we ditch... Honestly, it might be Anje, because Olivia bring back Anje is really strong. I don't want to ditch this, because I can go 2+3 next turn, ideally. So let's get the last 2 cards out of their hand here. Exile their graveyard. Goodbye, divide by 0. You will not be missed. That was unfortunately not the untapped land I wanted for Christmas. That being said, I can go Bloodcaster into Brushstroke here. And this allows my Bloodtithe Harvester to kill an angel. Only a 3/4. The fact that she doesn't attack into 4/4 angels is kind of a big sad. Video West, thank you for the 43 months. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. I can't double spell here no matter what I do, which is super unfortunate. Go open on Harvester. That just happened. That seems good for us. Just gonna go ahead and pass now. No blocks, go to 14. Another Divine Purge would be kind of bad for us, but they can't be sandbagging that one. Watcher. Wow, that's a crack draw for them. All of these cantrip now. I'm gonna have time to Sorin. Well, I guess I don't want to sacrifice too many bloods because I want to... Yeah, maybe sacrificing that blood was wrong because I want to, start Florian here and see if this eats a counter spell. I think there's a good chance this gets countered and then I get to Anje. Yeah, okay. So now I get to do this, and then this, which gives me a blood, and then this will sacrifice, make a blood because of the Bloodcast, and Bloodcaster will transform. We lose another life. You get to get a little baddie in here, attack for 5. And then even if they have a sweeper, we're in a pretty good spot because of the Blood Artist, right? And if they have, like, Divine Purge, it doesn't hit Anje. And they're just dead to the Maid of Dishonor here. Every blood we sacrifice drains them for 3. Every creature we sacrifice drains them for 3. Yeah. Good times. As Vampire deck's been consistently excellent as Alchemy has evolved. Feels like. Sweet to see Olivia get to flex a little bit in the second game. Anje really kind of showing off there why she is the 4 of 4 drop that we play. Just so incredibly powerful. Blood Artist is a heck of an enabler for sure. Play this on red and get my scry on. Bottoming anything that's not a third land tier. What's going on, Dylan? Yeah, I was never much for brainstorming, so when I played Legacy, we usually played Degeneracy back in the day. Yeah, Olivia is very strong on this deck because of the plethora of legendary vampires we have. Ooh, opponents venturing into some dungeons, chat. Down deep into the Pandelver they go. Okay. Draw an untapped land next turn, we're in a pretty good spot. This tournament's gonna kind of define the typical metagame of Alchemy Archmage. It's not really well established. I would like 2 blood tokens, please. Or a damage, dealer's choice. Yeah. And even the tournament this weekend that's kind of gonna define the format for the first time. We have a direct Alchemy card release along with some balance changes coming on Thursday next week. And then we're likely to see, you know, another balance patch a month from now. That's something like, I always praised Riot Games a lot for their management of Runeterra, but regular balance patches was something even they didn't get right consistently. And it's kind of sweet if that's something Wizards is gonna be doing for us. The pace at which they've been making both buffs and nerfs and adding more cards has been well done so far. Hopefully they are able to keep it up and grow Alchemy into something people continue to enjoy. This is why you play 4 Anjes as well, chat. Cause it's just like, all right, we'll play this one. We'll make some bloods. That's fine. No big deal. They're one dungeon off, one venture off from completing their dungeon. They have an Adar here, we could be in trouble.
I'm not overconfident. You're just understanding. This is what you get for hurting my people.
For hurting my people. Alright, and that's the dungeon completed, which is a big deal. It means these gargoyles are cleared for takeoff. A little bit of trouble here, Chip. They are stabilizing the board. Probably should have bottomed this Bloodvial Purveyor looking for more lands. Yeah, Fate's Reversal, one of the many cards that was buffed in the opponent's archetype. We're just chilling, like, making blood and sacking things. The game we started this morning has big, Expanse 5's Burning Pig. We started the Outer Worlds.
We must protect the people.
A Welcoming Vampire does not draw a card if Gargoyle enters with +3 attack. That is correct. Enters as a 3/3.
Under my watch, neither vampire nor human will be extinct. I bring my own army.
Yes, I am role-playing as a dirty anti-capitalist. Let's go with that. Yeah, Horizon was great. Super happy with that one. It was a fantastic follow-up to the original game. They have a way to kill my Maid of Dishonor here. We could be in trouble, and if we had to just sit here and drain them for a bit, we could be okay. Looks like they have a removal spell. Oh, they're vanishing. Oh, they can't vanishing versus Anje. That's fine. Things that are a-okay. Bloodcaster and Anje are definitely the headliners of our archetype. They are both very, very good.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Okay, so I think we throw a bat in front of the vampire here and then just sack it. Are they dead on board currently? No, they can make a vampire. Got it. Yeah, I really wish I would have bought him this Bloodvial Purveyor. If we had a 6th land, we'd be much happier at the moment. Speaking of, oh, their wolf gets to drain 2 on attack now.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Yep. They don't have a removal spell. We're still in an okay spot. So glad this game is on my phone now, right? Alright, so they get to gain 2 here. They get to scry 2 off their venture. We're gonna block their lifelinkers again with bats and then sacrifice them. We're going to chump block their 5/5. We'll eat their 3/3. We're taking 11 here, but we're going to gain 6. I think we're 2 life short. We're 1 life short of killing them next turn. So the fact that I missed my land drop for so long could definitely be the reason we lose this, which means my scry earlier in this game could definitely come back to cost us. They have a Lash of Malice. Oh no, we're dead, chat. Sedge. I think the black-white deck we played had like 1 Lash in the main the other day. Alright, Ray of Enfeeblement's great here. Power word kills pretty good. Brittle Blast is fine. Olivia's a little slow. I think we cut the Epicure just to have higher average card quality in our deck post-board. Thanks for the follow, Bolded. Welcome to the channel this morning. Playing with fire is not very good in this matchup, right? It, like, kills Triumphant Adventurer, but other than that, it doesn't really kill any of the high-impact cards we care about. We'll cut those, bring 2 Abrades in, because they deal with most of the things we care about. Yeah, needs some black sources, but is what it is. going on, sure? Your Foretell deck was sweet. Chat really enjoyed it. Definitely seemed like they were doing some powerful things there. The sweeper in the first game felt a little strange to me. Other than that, it seemed pretty reasonable. I can keep this on the draw. We got a scry. Gonna brick on our second black again and die. Oh, it looks slow. What's going on, Koi Cricket? Thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. That was pretty good here. I assume he's just drawing a card.
Powerful won't help. I'll do it myself. Now, what do we have here?
Right on time, Bloodcaster. Thanks for showing up.
Something you don't know. Now this is a juicy secret.
Okay, Chad, I need your help. There's Alchemy deck lists up on MTG Melee now. I need 2 stats. I need the total number of cards that have been nerfed in Alchemy so far. And then I need the total number of, or the raw count of different cards in those deck lists that are being played that are on the nerfed list. How close or not were nerfs to actually being soft bans, like boomers often complain they are? Let's play it by the numbers. No, don't count Town Razor twice, silly.
I know something you don't know.
Oh, we're bouncing, my friend. Yikes. All right. Well, now we gotta play with fire. That kind of.
That all you got?
Think I'd rather have Bloodvial Purveyor to attack with in the air. Definitely feels like we're just getting out mid-ranged here. 0 aspirants registered. Really, you looked at every mono whitelist already? You mean every alchemy deck?
I'll be taking that now.
Or do you mean every historic deck? Because aspirant not being played in historic's not really a surprise. Creature decks are very bad in historic. Feels like we're dead here. Oh, you're bad. You were only looking at historic. That explains how you were done so quickly. Yeah, mono white is like 25% of the alchemy field, and I'm pretty sure some amount of them or all of them play aspirant. All right, let's get our grindy stuff in here, huh? Get to bring in a couple of Valkis, a couple of Olivias. This might be a go blank matchup. Four of in most mono white alchemy decks. Yeah, correct. Good. The Castle Draculas have certainly not been free with our brushstrokes. Yeah, there was at least one team that showed up with Venture into the dungeon deck. So that's definitely seeing play from buffs. A blood vial, go digging for a land here. Yeah, the 2/1 Death Touch First Strike card was close to being playable on its own before the buff, so it being played as just an individually good card post buff isn't surprising, I don't think. Just Anje here to play around the possibility of a second Connoisseur taking it away. I think Anje is more important than Florian on this kind of gummed up board. Honestly, we're in a pretty decent spot here, right? Might just jam this, actually. I was thinking maybe I want to start sacrificing to get more blood tokens for Bloodcaster, but playing vampires out also generates blood tokens. Oh, chat! The auto-tapper got me. Damn it. That's our 5th vampire. If I would have left up Castle Dracula, we would have gotten a free blood token. It's actually a huge deal. I haven't activated Castle for free yet today, and I just wasn't counting. Honestly, even if they massacre us here, it's like not that big of a deal, right? Because they can't kill Bloodvial and or Anje, actually. And my Blood Artist would get them good. We have a piece of spot removal, or are they about to take 7? Taking 7 is great for us. We'll lose 2 more here. And they're probably just drained out at this point, right? It's like, even if they like fetch up a way to kill Anje here, like my creature's dying and my blood's dying, drain them for 1. Yeah, it would be really nice if we didn't have to click every time Blood Artist drains somebody. That would be ideal. Castle activation is instant speed. Yes, the bats are bloods and creatures. So if we sack them to Anje, they drain for 4 total, 2/1/1. They're actually just dead, right? It's active player, non-active player, so my Blood Artist triggers resolve before their Meat Hook triggers, chat. Not to mention Blood Vial hanging out, Den of the Bugbear, all these blood tokens. They're dead a couple different ways here. I like it. I'm happy with how I board it. Maybe I want Brittle Blast in my deck. Brittle Blast taking the dies text off of Eye Twitch isn't nothing. It's like slightly better than Infernal Grasp. Brittle Blast can also hit their Planeswalkers, theoretically. Let's do that. Oh. Yeah, the set championship deck lists are all up at MTG Melee. Is this good enough? Maybe. About half of the white greening decks are playing Aspirant. Sweet. Good metric. What about other nerfed cards? Any skims? There's a lot of how big is the tournament, by the way? Is it like a couple hundred players? It's probably not trivial to sort through. 200, okay. Dachta, thank you for the 21 months. I really appreciate the support. Welcome back. All right, chat. Opponent's been watching too much TV. It's gonna rot their brain. They banned a Kodos when they could have played it this turn. Do they have another one? They have another one that's actually pretty bad for us. Do we have double Go Blank in hand? They're looking at my graveyard. They might have another Kodos. The Go Blank shall continue until morale improves. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Yeah, I think they had this last turn and just chose not to play it. I don't understand why this card doesn't let me draw when it takes one out of my hand. They've basically templated every modern design like this where you take cards out of their hand and library to replace the card it takes from hand. This is such a huge variance, feels bad moment. Wait, do they not get the one out of my hand? Hand and library. Wait, they just messed up, right? Probably doesn't matter. They're probably not going to keep too many cards in hand, but... just making sure I understand the card more than anything. And then Brittle Blast here not only stops them from casting their spell with that, but now Eye Twitch is going to exile if it would die. Divide by Zero and Hullbreaker are still seeing play. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hoping to spike an untapped land next turn so we can go Sorin into Brushstroke.
I take no joy in the slaughter, but it's necessary work. Dire times call
Yeah, I just posted down tick here. That's hella aggro. I kind of like it. Smart from the opponent.
I bring my own.
They can kill two things. They can kill us with the Hive, but they can't kill two things, I don't think, and also activate Hive. I think we should be clear here. Hey, thanks for the 22, Kurt. Welcome back. The bug surrounding Magma Opus is incredibly narrow and pretty unlikely to come up in most games. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Bema. Yeah, Dice Throne is great. Like, S tier board gaming for sure. So, we double block this? The attack seems great for us, especially with Olivia in hand. We're going to 5, 6, 7.
Your blood will be mine. You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
So again, this stays in play until I no longer control a legendary vampire, and it is a legendary vampire. Her bringing back other legendaries is just so correct. This game's probably over, huh? What a sweet sip.
Tragedy befalls us all.
Our next turn's kind of guessed too. We get to put second Blood Artist into play. And then we get to Blood, Ditch, and Anje. Loop Anje with loop Anje with the Crimson. Chat, the tournament format for Alchemy this weekend was mostly mid-range and aggro decks. This format is super reasonable and fun. Like, it's what I hoped for. It's what Magic's been missing, in my opinion, for a long time. This one wasn't a fluke. Like, this is our third or fourth time we've played Red-Black Vampires in this format. We've adjusted it as the metagames developed a little bit. Like, Play with Fire's been in and out of the main deck. Olivia was a new card we played for the first time today, though, and she was really impressive in multiple games. She kind of gave us more virtual copies of the Maid of Dishonor in a lot of spots, so that was definitely good. I'm pretty happy with this 75. I think based on the current metagame, I like what this is doing. Obviously, subject to change around the details once we start getting... We have a new direct-to-digital Alchemy release happening in 6 days on the 17th. And then we're going to have a Hoaglandia open on the 19th, so that's exciting. If you want to play some tournament Alchemy right after the new cards drop, be sure to sign up for the tournament on MTG Melee there. Hope to have a bunch of y'all playing.